FM Shreveport Bossier, the home of LSU sports, is 1130 The Tiger.
Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the Demons, right?
Yes.
Touchdown, Demons!
Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center Top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names, bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full, and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull, and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert.
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it. And good afternoon. We welcome you into the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. Just kind of a normal average Tuesday to be doing the show. I don't really have any topics to discuss today. I mean, I guess we can talk more about Major League Baseball and the Astros cheating. The WNBA just got a new collective bargaining agreement. They're finally getting the raises that they deserve. So we could talk about equal pay in sports if you wanted to. We could get into a little bit of that. Let's see what else. Basketball, NBA, Lakers still rolling. Everything going well for them. I feel like that would be a good topic, maybe. Talk about the Rockets. I'm actually kind of surprised this past weekend with everything that went down in Houston that somehow Westbrook and Harden didn't get like doubly electrocuted and out for the season. Not dead, but like out for the season. Just because it was kind of a rough weekend for the folks of Houston, Texas. So we can talk about that. Let's see what else. College basketball. You got college basketball going. Kind of, uneasy the head that wears the number one crown, which seems like it happens every year in college basketball. What else, Raj? NFL, Tom Brady apparently looking at the Bears potentially. That's the rumor floating around that Trubisky's out and here comes Tom Brady to rescue the Bears for a season. They got a pretty good defense, so that's a thought. Jeff brings up LSU basketballs tonight. We could discuss that if you wanted to. Anything else, Raj, that you can think of that we should tackle? I can't think of anything.
I was up for just going national today, just
that's
because
true.
there's
not
just
a lot
no
to talk about.
So
a lot of national topics.
Yeah.
Who's gonna the value?
I figured we'd lower our level to the competition and just go national.
The value of Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
To the Chiefs, that kind of thing. I can't think of anything else that really went down yesterday to chat with. I don't know. Let me think. I think we've what? Huh? I don't even know what this is. Is this a fight song for someone? Who is it? Rogers is wearing his Billy Cannon shirt, which really now doubles as a national championship shirt because it's got a 20 on it. And I tell you what, old numerologist Fowler went a long way to try to tie 20 back in. Like, not only did he tie it into Billy Cannon and obviously the year of the championship, but he also went, 3 times 20 is 60, and that's something, and then 4 times 20 is 80, and that's how old Billy Cannon was when he died, or so. I don't know. It was just, there was a whole thing that he went through it was a stretch. But yes, obviously we're here to talk about the national championship for the LSU Tigers. Yeah, they came.
We're coming.
They came.
And we ain't backing down.
They did not back down. Faced their largest deficit of the entire season. Looked out of sorts offensively early. Backed up in their own end zone. 17-7 lead. Next thing you know, Lilo Clemson. We're just Lilo Clemson. We can't beat LSU. No, you didn't. Although, look, kudos to Clemson. They played very well early, especially defensively. And, Raj, one of the reasons why I wanted to watch the main feed was because I wanted to hear Kirk Herbstreit, who's a really good analyst. I wanted to hear Kirk Herbstreit break down what was going on, and he immediately identified that, hey, Brent Venables is trying to copy the Kevin Steele game plan from the Auburn game, the 3-1-7. And sure enough, here was the 3-1-7. And you had Isaiah Simmons, who's kind of it's almost a 3-2-6 or a 3-1-7 based on what he's doing. Could you mention the Daytona 500's a month away? So, yeah, we could talk NASCAR if you want. But obviously today we're here to discuss the national championship game last night. Another virtuoso performance for Big Bleep Joe. If you didn't see his hat, the swag on that kid is completely unregisterable. You can't. It's just off the charts. It's unbelievable. So we got a lot to break down during the game. Raj, did you correct me if I'm wrong, you went with 37-27?
Yes.
So you were not far off?
Yeah, and a lot of the scores we had from our little contest in the morning, nobody got it right, but everybody was
I had 38-24, which is, right on track.
Right in there, yep.
I think kind of everyone felt, I for whatever reason, I didn't think that LSU would get to 40. Now, they should have. They should have gotten to 49. Jamar Chase drops a touchdown pass, which, I mean, look, you can't knock him. The kid had, 8 catches for 200 and something yards? I mean, you can't question Jamar Chase. He dropped one. It happens. But, look, we are all LSU all the time. If there are other things you want to discuss, we'll weave them in. We're here to let LSU fans enjoy themselves. All right, revel in your victory. Enjoy what went down. Raj, I'm wearing my Northwestern State shirt in celebration of Coach O, the Northwestern State grad, and Bill Johnson, the defensive line coach, who's also a Northwestern State grad. Look, that's the cool thing about this victory, right? Coach O talks a lot about Louisiana and playing for the state of Louisiana. He talks about the state of Louisiana a lot. Well, I can tell you this. I don't know how Tech fans feel. I don't know how Ragin' Cajun fans feel. I don't know how Green Wave fans feel. But Demon fans are pretty dang happy for Coach O. And the other reason is not only because he's a native son, but also because he does everything in his power for Northwestern State. Anytime they get asked, anytime they ask him for a signed helmet, a signed football, sideline passes for the NSU game or other games, O always comes through for his alma mater. And what a cool story. If you didn't read it, we shared it on the Facebook page. If you haven't read it, what a great story about Bill Johnson and Ed Orgeron and how Bill Johnson really went to bat for Ed. And when Sam Goodwin came in and wanted to let Ed Orgeron kick him off the team, basically, for being kind of rowdy, Bill Johnson went to bat for Coach O and said, maybe think about this guy. And when Sam Goodwin met him and his roommate, Brian Arsenault, said, look, these guys, I thought they'd be kind of bumpkins and swamp creatures, basically, all uncouth. He said, what I found out is these are good dudes. So that led to Ed Orgeron having a tremendous year, having a tremendous career at Northwestern. He was the first Joe Delaney Award recipient. That's kind of the team MVP, so to speak, the heart and soul of the team, showing the leadership qualities and selflessness and all that Joe Delaney showed. Then you have that, and you turn that into, Bill Johnson recommends him for a job at Miami. He goes to Arkansas as a strength coach. He goes to Miami. He ends up the Saints and the USC and Ole Miss, and all the travels after that. He coached at McNeese at one point. And then when he had the opportunity to rehire or to hire Bill Johnson as his D-line coach because his actual D-line coach was injured in a basketball game, was in a wheelchair, Dennis Johnson, I think it's his name, Dennis Johnson, he had a chance to go hire Bill Johnson. And Bill was had just gotten fired by the Rams after taking them to a Super Bowl, after he had won a Super Bowl with the Saints. And boom, what do you know? Here comes Bill Johnson back with his old student, his old pupil, as it were, and they win a national title together. And Raj, we're going to have Bill Johnson on probably end of the week, Thursday, Friday. We're also going to obviously effort Ed Orgeron as well. Bebe has been very, very good to us. Obviously, I know him a little bit. To him, I'm the Northwestern State guy. but he's been on the show, a time or two. We've talked to him multiple times. He came on the halftime show with us when we played at McNeese. Speaking of McNeese, Raj, we had Sterling Gilbert on before the season when we had every Division I football coach in the state of Louisiana, and Sterling Gilbert's gone to Syracuse, so they're looking for a coach. I know who they're targeting, Raj, and I'll say this. Chances are it might have been a previous guest on the Patrick Netherton Show. Now, I've had every Division I football coach in the state of Louisiana sans Billy Napier on this show, so think about it. But it might have been the guy that they're going after, from what I understand, has been a previous guest on the Patrick Netherton Show. But we are here for LSU. LSU talk, break it down. What did you like? What did you not like? Questions to be answered. Greatest single season that a quarterback's ever had. Greatest single season a team has ever had. Expand that out. Greatest quarterback ever. Greatest team ever. Those are all questions that are incredibly difficult to answer, but that are being asked at this point in time. And we are here to help you answer those questions, to take your phone calls, to take your texts, your calls, whatever you want to do, your Facebook messages. We're here for you. Gloat.
We're here for you at Steve Francis, Yao Ming, past the hour.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
3 and 11.
Wait.
Steve Francis was 3 and Yao Ming was 11. Yeah.
Was that when he was with the Rockets?
Yes.
Steve Francis?
Yes.
Stevie Franchise? Isn't that what you call him? Yeah.
Because I know that we're really getting in the NBA today.
Yeah, we
college basketball.
And NASCAR.
And I think the PGA golf schedule has come out now.
Hey, we had a wild finish on the PGA Tour on Sunday.
Yeah.
Had a long delay on the 18th hole, and then the dude who was in the lead hooks one up into the bleachers.
Got to do something about pace of play in 2020.
Oh, we definitely do. And they're working on it, actually. Speaking of pace of play, we got to do something about pace of play in college football, for that matter, too. That game took forever. I'm not complaining because I didn't have anywhere to be, right? Rogers did. Rogers had to be up here. So by the time that game ended and you watched some of the post game, you watched some of Van Pelt, you kind of got through some of that. I finally turned it off at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. I finally turned it off and said, "Okay, I'm going to bed." Rogers was waking up an hour and 15 minutes later.
I think I finally forced myself about 12:30 to lay down because the alarm goes off at 2:30. I said I need at least a couple hours to at least lay down.
Right.
In the old days, 20, 30 years ago, I just wouldn't even gone to bed.
Yeah.
I'd have had enough youth still left in me to, oh, man, I can stay up for 2 straight days.
Rogers would have been up here drunk in the morning.
Yeah, and nobody needed that.
No.
You didn't need drunk Rogers while I'm feeding my neighborhood kitties. That would have scared them.
Exactly.
Woo, Tigers!
Yeah. So
it was the Shreveport version of T-Bob.
It was, oh, man.
Boy, that guy.
He's something else.
That's a nice way to put it.
Here's the thing, though, man. He played for LSU.
Oh, absolutely.
On a team that should have won a championship and didn't. Well, I shouldn't say should have. Could have.
Could have
won a championship.
Have, yes.
He was on the infamous 11 squad, right, that didn't get past midfield against Bama in the rematch. Should have been against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State lost to Iowa State late in the year. Yeah. So, look, here's the thing. If you're an LSU alum, you have every right to go crazy. Now, since LSU is the flagship university in the state, unlike Texas, or you've got Texas and Baylor and Texas Tech and A&M and all, you got like 9 big universities in Texas. Mississippi State, you got Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Alabama, you got Auburn and Alabama. Oklahoma State, you have Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. All right, so we're kind of like Arkansas in Louisiana in that there's one state university, and it's kind of in the corner of the state, right? Arkansas is up in the northwest corner. Baton Rouge is down in kind of the southeast corner. But what a remarkable scenario to have the state of Louisiana represented in the way they were, and to go out there in New Orleans, win a national title. And you know what? This one feels different to me than 07 and 03. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's Orgeron. It's a native son. Maybe that's why it feels different. Maybe it was because of the overwhelming way they won the title going 15-0, outscoring opponents as much as they did, setting a record for most points scored in a season. Burrow shattering the touchdown passing record, the SEC passing record. It felt like it was more of a tour de force, and you've got the gravelly voiced Cajun leading the way. Although, Raj, one of my favorite memes of all time, and it never really came out when Orgeron was. Oh, and can I mention that a lot of people owe Joe Oliva an apology because he's the one who made this choice. He said he liked Orgeron. A lot of people poo-pooed upon that choice, and now he's won a title in, 3 years, basically? But I go back, and I love the one meme I saw. I saw it earlier in the year, that LSU finally hired a coach without an accent. I love that. That speaks to the culture of Louisiana. And I love the fact that the national guys all recognize it, right? Because they've all been to New Orleans enough to understand what Louisiana culture is about. And I know that the people south of I-10 think that we all should be part of Texas up here in the Northwest. But you know what? We're all part of Louisiana. And while I have a lot of friends at LSU, I know a lot of people at LSU, a lot of my good friends, a lot of people that I respect in the industry, LSU guys. I, as a Northwestern State guy, not a grad, just a Northwestern State guy, appreciate the fact that the title was won for Ed Orgeron. Just, a decade removed from being a laughingstock at Ole Miss and being the butt of all the jokes. He's led this team to a title and did it in overwhelming fashion. And I think that's the part that is so remarkable. It's not like someone had to lose somewhere for him to get in. They backed into like in 11. Alabama backed into the title game in 11. LSU had already beaten them in the regular season. The 9-6 game, and then they back into the championship that way. And then they did their job once they got into the title game against LSU. They did the job, but they backed into it. LSU didn't back into anything. They just ran over everyone, or passed over everyone, I guess. It was a remarkable season, capped off with a remarkable comeback in the title game. LSU down double digits for the first time in this season. Raj, who had the biggest first quarter lead on LSU this year?
I don't know.
You don't know? No. You're not sure? Can I enlighten you? Would you like me to tell you?
Of course, if it's got something to do with basketball.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Okay.
Raj, the largest first quarter lead over LSU this year, Northwestern State, 7-3. One of the closest halftime scores.
Go Demons.
For LSU. Northwestern State, 24-14. Could have been 24-21 if the Demons had converted an interception late.
Go Demons.
Fork 'em Demons. Obviously, the second half was 41-0 or 47-0. I don't remember. It was a lot to a little. I think it was 41-0 in the second half. Not that the game was in doubt, but I mean, Northwestern. That's a badge of honor for Northwestern State. You played a better first half against the national champions than almost anyone else did the entire season. That's a cool thing to say. But it's incredibly neat, and I know neat's kind of a trite word, but it's incredibly neat that a guy who a lot of people didn't want as the head coach, and a lot of people questioned when he got the head coaching job, even though he was a native son, even though he's a South Louisiana guy, even though he's a Cajun through and through, they didn't think he could do the job. Do you know what his interim coaching record was? He was 6-2 at USC, and he was 6-2 at LSU. That dude was 12-4 as an interim coach. Why do people think he couldn't coach? And here's, to me, the most remarkable aspect of Ed Orgeron. When he was at Ole Miss, the tales of Orgeron were he was a micromanager. He was a guy that wouldn't let his coaches coach. He was a little bit too hard on his players. He was too emotional. The knocks went on. And look, he was never going to succeed at a blue blood place like Ole Miss. Ole Miss is way too Genteel Southerners, we are Ole Miss. We talk more like we're from the Carolinas than we do we're from Mississippi. We're Ole Miss. We like our bourbons neat and aged in a barrel. That's how we like it. Well, no. What you see is you see a guy who was gruff and a guy who had issues, right? There were negatives. Like I said, micromanager, guy who wouldn't let his coaches coach, too emotional, didn't treat his players the way that they should have been treated. And you know what he was? He was humble enough and smart enough to learn from his mistakes. And gosh darn it, people liked him. So what did he do? He came to LSU and he said, I'm not dumb enough to think that I know it all. And here's the thing. Dumb people think they know it all, even though I'm Mr. Know-It-All. Dumb people think they know it all. Smart people understand that there's other people that know more than they do. Again, does that make me dumb because I'm Mr. Know-It-All? And honestly, I'm Mr. Know-It-All because I can Google really fast. So, but I do know a lot of things. But I still have to Google a lot of stuff. But he was smart enough to understand that he needed to bring in good people. So the first thing he did, he recruited Dave Aranda. He was already there. But he recruited him and made him stay. And he went out and got Matt Canada. And he was smart enough to realize that his and Matt Canada's styles didn't work. So he fired Matt Canada. And he put Steve Ensminger in charge. And you could see the progression of that offense as they went along. And it was capped in the Fiesta Bowl against Central Florida. When you saw kind of the unleashing of the offense, Burrow went over 300 yards passing. He was running it well. You could see all of that happening. And then he said, you know what, we need to make the change. We need to really put this offense at the next level. And after Joe Brady had come down from the Saints to work on the RPO game with LSU, Orgeron was so impressed that he said, I'm just hiring this guy. And so he hired Joe Brady. And it's the intelligence of Ed Orgeron, the humility of Ed Orgeron to know that he needs good people around him. It's the intelligence of Steve Ensminger and the humility of Steve Ensminger to know that this guy has good ideas. Let's not freeze him out. Let's embrace him. Let's let him call some of the plays. Let's let him be the quarterback's coach. So when they're up in the booth, Ensminger's working on the next set of plays, and Brady's on the headset talking to Joe Burrow between series. And Ensminger was humble enough and smart enough to say, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm going to let him coach. And it worked to perfection. And then, as I mentioned yesterday, that I thought the most overlooked aspect of this entire game was LSU's defense. LSU's defense made Trevor Lawrence very uncomfortable. He didn't run the ball with any effectiveness. And remember, Raj, we talked about that's what they do in big games. They like to run the quarterback. Well, he didn't get really anything going running the ball and had the fumble late that ultimately iced it. He had 13 overthrows in that game. A remarkable number for a guy that's supposed to be as good as Trevor Lawrence is. He just never looked comfortable in that game. And that's courtesy of Dave Aranda and that LSU defense, who still will not get enough respect, except here. I'll respect the hell out of them. But they still will not get enough respect nationally for what they did the last really 5-6 weeks of the season. It was pretty remarkable. All right, this is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. Obviously, we're going to talk a ton of golf today. No, we're talking a ton of LSU championship game. We'll break the game down. Were you concerned when it was 17-7? Did you think, uh-oh, someone's finally figured LSU out? You know, Burrow's not going to be able to solve this. Brady's not going to be able to diagnose this. Did you feel that? Did you feel, uh-oh, we're in trouble? Or was it, hey, it's early, still first quarter, it's 17-7. You've been on the shadow of your own goalpost the entire time. Let's see what happens when you get a little bit of field position. And they did, and you saw what happened. Jamar Chase happened. So we can discuss that. We can discuss the officiating. A lot of 15-yard penalties on LSU in that game, including 2 on the Clemson scoring drive. There was the interference with the ability to make the catch, which I thought was pretty bogus. And then there was, I believe, a pass interference. Or no, that was the face masking, I think, on Caleb Chason. 11 penalties, I believe, for LSU in that game. You gave Clemson a lot of field position with penalties, a ton. But let's talk about Joe Burrow in the offense. Let's talk about Dave Aranda in the defense. Phone numbers. You can call us at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. Text line, 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. Got a lot of texts lined up. I promise we'll get to them coming up in the second segment. We also got a lot of Facebook comments lined up. We'll get to those coming up. Speaking of Facebook, you can watch us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Netherton Show.
All right.
Or just go to Facebook, search for The Patrick Netherton Show. We're live right now talking, obviously, LSU national title. Rogers is over there waving at you. We'll get you your comments on the Facebook page, all right, and the text line. And if you want to call, you can also find us on Twitter, at Netherton Show, at Hey Boy Rogers, at PT Netherton. Hambone's choked up about the LSU title. He can't. He's got to. Yeah, they're yelling at the TV. You know, I don't really yell at the TV much. I clap occasionally, but I don't really do much talking when I'm watching a game.
I don't use it either, but my daughter was in to watch it with me, so she and I were doing the high-five and screaming. She's an LSU graduate, just missed it by a year, went through the Les Miles change, went through all that misery, and then the year she moves away and takes a job in Dallas. I mean, she's still a part of it. So normally I wouldn't either. I'd be in the secondary room watching it intently, you know, because Shannon likes it, but she doesn't know anything about it. And during a game like that, that's one of those, this is not a game where I need to explain the rules of football to you.
Don't ask questions.
Yes. But so with me and Lauren, there was a little more screaming just because my daughter was in town. And like I said, she's an LSU graduate and high-fiving, and that's why it's a little more scratchy than it normally would be. Because normally I'm a little more calm with that. Or if they, score a touchdown, something like that.
I do some clapping. That's about all I get. About all you'll get out of me.
I do the clapping, but then Shannon would get mad at me because I took it too far, and I did the Jason Garrett, and I was spitting on the carpet while I was clapping. And she was like, hey.
Or you could be like Steve Ensminger. You just spit in your spit cup the entire time.
He had his own personal camera with that.
Yeah.
And speaking of him, how about the emotional embrace with he and his son afterwards on the field? I mean, that's all I'm going to say about that because you know how close I was with my dad, and I know how close you are with yours. And with everything that family's going through, you could just feel the love. And I don't even want to look at you right now because it touched me very much.
No, it was nice, and
it's still so raw.
Steven Ensminger Jr. was crying. His dad wasn't, but you could tell there was a lot of emotion there. And we have a comment about the Carly McCord piece that we'll get to coming up in just a bit.
Okay, I knew you would.
Because we do have to talk about that. So, a lot of things to get to. But speaking of Rogers Hampton, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, boy.
I'm telling you what, man, your shirt is very timely. The Billy Cannon shirt now becomes the national championship
shirt. It does,
shirt.
and this was just a basic shirt that Lauren had got me a couple years ago.
For those that don't know, it's a helmet with yellow
old
tiger
school helmet with the one bar.
With the number 20 on it, which is Billy Cannon's number.
Yeah.
But is also now the national championship number.
And speaking of my daughter, when she was at LSU, her job was at the LSU Sports Shop, so I got a lot of good stuff. Yeah. And she knew how close that her grandfather was with Billy Cannon, and we got to know him, Dr. Cannon, really well. Mm-hmm. And when this shirt came in, she was like, Dad, look at this. And I said, get it for me. Because it's like I said, it's old school. It's got the one bar. It's got the old Tiger logo from way back in the 50s.
Can I make a real crass joke?
Of course you can.
Okay. At least it's not counterfeit. I told you I was making a crass joke, Rogers. I warned you.
I just didn't know we were going there.
No, look, the guy was an absolute. He was an absolute hero.
Oh no,
no,
believe me, and I get it,
Yeah.
because one of the most famous inside jokes that I knew from my family was after what happened with Dr. Cannon, and he was arrested, and Boots Garland was the one, the former LSU track coach, went to go pick Billy up, and all that stuff, and he said that the first thing Boots asked Billy was, "Well, Billy, anything I can do for you?" And he said, Billy looked at him and said, "Yeah, can you break 100?"
Oh boy.
And that's a true story.
Yeah, no,
that
I believe
is a true story.
I believe it.
That's a true story.
Yeah. No, it's and the amazing thing though is that even off the field issues don't erase on the field legends.
Oh.
And look, that
and like I said, thank goodness Dr. Kenny he didn't OJ anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was counterfeiting.
It was a counterfeit thing, and he served his time.
And even after serving his time, he remained the orthodontist at Angola till the day that he could no longer do it anymore. And he set up, I think, from what I understand, one of the best dental facilities for a prison in the country. So once he did do his time, it wasn't just, okay, I'm done, now I'm back to being a hero. And he didn't embrace his hero status until here in the latter part of his life. He was so embarrassed by what had happened.
Yeah. No,
he didn't realize that the people still loved him despite what he thought was such a bad deal.
We are a nation of forgiving people.
Yes.
We want to forgive you.
Especially our heroes.
Right, and the people that we love and loved as we were growing up, and obviously in 59 a lot of people were growing up. And so those are the people that we love. And so a guy like Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow has reached that legendary status. He's number 1 on the all-time LSU list, right? I don't know who's second. Maybe it's Billy Cannon. Hester, I know, is up on that list somewhere. Matt Flynn is probably up on that list. Probably some of the other skill position guys, or maybe some of the big D linemen like Booger or Dorsey or Marcus Spears. There's guys like that, but Joe Burrow ascends to the number 1 position on the LSU football Mount Rushmore. It's a remarkable, remarkable story. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We got a lot of texts and a lot of messages backing up. Please keep sending them. I promise you we'll get to them all in the upcoming segment. We're going to talk LSU football all day. At least until 5. They're going to talk about LSU football too, but I can't. That's going to be appointment listening today, by the way. The Marshall boys from 5 to 6, Sports Talk with JJ and Bonsai Ben. I might just sit in the studio and chuckle the entire time. I don't even have any LSU gear, but I might go get some to wear into the studio. Yeah, I'm sure we got a shirt somewhere here, right? We do have a pair of underwear on the wall. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. All of your thoughts and comments on the LSU National Championship. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Figured it out. What I needed was someone to show me.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Amberen trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonials based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO 52 weeks 7/14/19 by UPC MLBO.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton. For relief of hot flashes, night sweats, and low energy, I rely on Amberen. Amberen is clinically shown to help relieve 12 menopause symptoms by restoring hormonal balance without drugs and without estrogen. Give Amberen a try and see why it's America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Available at your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine stores.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
The new year is here, and I found the perfect way to shake up our shopping routine. It's Walmart's grocery pickup and delivery.
Oh, yeah?
We get the same prices as in-store, but at Walmart, they do the shopping for you.
So it's like a shopping shortcut.
A fairy grocery mother who just shops her grocery list so hard.
A secret sauce that makes running errands a cakewalk.
A life hack that hacks your life to get more life out of life.
Nice.
Use code WOWFRESH and get $10 off your first grocery pickup or delivery today. Walmart. Save money, live better. Delivery fee applies. Delivery available in select markets. First order only. $50 minimum. Expires March 31st, 2020. Restrictions apply.
If you like pina coladas and getting
Spilled your pina colada? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills and messes quicker. And is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to getting caught in the rain.
If you like pina coladas,
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
insurance could save you up to 52% on your car insurance. Here's how it works. Root uses an app to base rates primarily on how you drive. Since we don't insure bad drivers, you don't have to pay for their accidents. We designed car insurance entirely around your smartphone. Just download the Root app and drive around for a few weeks. The app measures your driving behavior, so good drivers could get the rate they deserve. And with Root, you have everything you need right at your fingertips, from your policy to claims to repairs. Root proves that big coverage can come in a small package with an even smaller price tag. So download the app. If you're a good driver, you could save up to 52% on your car insurance. And that leaves you extra money to buy something you really want. Not available in all states. Savings based on national reviews reported by actual customers. Form 1. We reserve the right to refuse to quote any individual or premium rate for the insurance advertised herein. Download the Root app today. That's ROOT.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is, do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. Indeed will also give you this sticky frog, which will suddenly leap and stick to the face of the perfect hire. Okay, there's no sticky frog. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Post your next job at Indeed.com/hire and try skills tests for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Where Shreveport and Bossier come for LSU Sports, 1130 The Tiger.
Let's get to the meat of the matter with producer Rogers Hampton.
Hey, boy!
Here's your master of ceremonies, Patrick Netherton.
All right, we got a lot of messages and everything. We still got to break the game down at some point. Want to talk about the adjustments that were made. Raj, were you watching for the number of times they looked at the sideline versus when they went hurry up?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah,
I tried
because they kind of do that all the time.
Yeah,
so I've kind of gotten used to it.
Well, they do. They look at the sideline almost every time, but a couple times they went tempo, and you could see they were trying to switch it up, but they didn't do tempo much. They went with their normal look at the sidelines. All right, you want to call us? You can at 318-320-1130. If you want to text us, you can at 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. But to the phone lines we go, and our old pal Gator joins us. Gator, what's up?
Hey, Patrick, guess who it is?
Gator, I know. I just said that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you must be over the moon right now. Your boys won. They did it.
You know, it's interesting. I'm happy for certain people. LSU, I work for another state university, and, LSU's fine. I have a lot of friends that work there, but I didn't grow up an LSU fan. I don't get overly emotional about what they do, but I have a lot of people at LSU that I like, and, of course, Orgeron, who's a Northwestern State guy and has been really good to me and to Northwestern as a whole. Bill Johnson, the defensive line coach, who's a Northwestern grad. So, yeah, I'm happy for those guys that they get to celebrate. And I'm happy for my friends who are LSU fans, like Rogers, who get to celebrate this.
Yeah. Rogers, I bet I know how he celebrated. I love LSU myself. Did you know that LSU won another national championship this year?
In what?
I'm not even making this up,
Okay.
man. They're the #1 drinking school in all of America.
Yeah.
They won the whole competition for #1 drinking school.
Yeah.
I love that place. I tried to get in there. I applied for LSU. I said, I will fit right in with you here.
Right.
And I did not get in, Patrick. I did not get in. What does that tell you?
Not a high enough blood alcohol content?
Well, no, I actually defecated in the interview on the chair.
Oh, well, that usually won't get you in, my friend. It also gets you arrested in Peru if you do that at Machu Picchu. I saw a story about that recently. So don't do
more
that,
like
Gator.
more like Machu Picchu.
Yeah, there you go.
If you ask me.
Hey, that's
man,
quality pun
I'll
work.
tell you what though. I'll let you go in a sec. I just want you to know I did for the New Year's resolution.
All right.
And it was to not drink any more alcohol, Patrick.
And
it lasted about a day and a half.
yeah, that's what hey, it's good work. And he hung up on that. Our boy Gator. Yeah, that was the most lucid Gator has been, I think, in all of his calls. You want to call the show, 318-320-1130. Text the show, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. We take your phone calls and your texts. We got a lot of texts and messages on the Facebook page. Again, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Netherton Show. You can find us there. And that's what we're all about. Let's go back to the phone lines, and we've got Lucky Jack on the line. Lucky Jack, what's up?
Well, I hope my New Year's resolution lasts longer than his.
Well, I'm not sure anybody's New Year's resolutions are as I would say, tougher to obtain than Gator's sobriety.
Yeah, the definition of New Year's resolution is a to-do list for the first week of January.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good effort. It's good to try, but it's not realistic.
Yeah. So with the game over, you got to turn and look towards next year.
Already?
And, well,
I mean, we can't even celebrate for 24 hours?
Well, no.
Okay, well then let's go, Lucky Jack. What you got for next year?
Well, so here's what I'm saying. The best barometer LSU has is Joe Brady. And the fact that, he's the hottest commodity in college football right now as far as offensive coordinator, whatever, maybe even the NFL. He's gonna make money wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Now, put yourself in his shoes. If the cupboard's bare, I'm moving on.
But is the cupboard bare?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that he believes in Miles Brennan or whoever's coming. He believes in his system. And, they might not be Joe Brady, but I think that he believes that what's coming is adequate.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, Lucky Jack, I think that derails that is I don't know how he feels about recruiting. He might be a guy that loves it. He loves to get on the road, go talk to all these prospects, all that stuff. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. And that's, to me, the ultimate thing, because coaching is coaching. Whether you're at the college level, at the highest level of college, or in the NFL, coaching is coaching, and you're scheming up against different defenses, all that kind of thing. I don't know if he likes recruiting. If he likes recruiting, then college is his game, in which case he's staying put, because allegedly in his new deal, it's going to take a Herculean buyout to get him to another college team. But if he doesn't like recruiting, then you might lose him to the NFL.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. But you got these Lincoln Rileys and these guys like that. They're hot commodities.
Sure.
But they're only as good as the talent that's around them. And you got to get the money in coaching when you can, or all of a sudden, the luster goes off, and you're no longer the hot commodity, and you stayed too long, and the money's not there.
Yeah,
I think that if he doesn't believe in what he's doing and who he's got next year, I think that's just as good things for LSU. The fact that he's staying, that means we're probably in pretty good shape.
Well, you're only losing one of the three receivers, right? Jefferson's gone, but Jamar Chase and Parkway's Terrace Marshall are both back. Which it took the entire game before Fowler and Herbstreit realized there wasn't an N in his first name. And then you've got all of them coming back. You're gonna have to replace Moss. You're gonna have to replace Edwards-Helaire. Obviously, you're gonna have to replace Joe Burrow. That's the main thing. But you're missing some. You're gonna have some O-linemen that are gone. But if this system is as good as you think it is, you might have a drop-off. You're inevitably going to have a drop-off from what Joe Burrow did. Like, this has been otherworldly. But if you're three-quarters as good as what Joe Burrow was, then you're still going to be elite in the nation.
Oh, absolutely. And I just think that the fact that Brady's going to – if Brady stays put, I think that, Miles Brennan he's done well when he came in last year, or this year, and so he's got somebody that he can look up to. If you can't figure out, that Joe Burrows is a good role model, then I'm sorry. I think that Miles Brennan or whoever steps up will be able to be plugged in. I think it's a good system, and Burrows just made it great.
Absolutely. All right, Lucky Jack. Maybe
see you guys.
See you, brother. Maybe one day he'll figure out there's no S on the end of Joe Burrow. But you and everybody else apparently. I mean, also, does Miles Brennan walk around with a hat like Joe Burrow did last night? Big D Joe. If you didn't know, that's what his hat said. He was wearing a hat. The infamous picture of him smoking the cigar, sitting on the couch with a leg crossed or whatever. He's got a hat in his lap, which he wore on his way out of the building. He wore the hat on his way out of the building, and it said Big D Joe, except the D was not a D. It was the actual word that rhymes with sick. All right? Big D Joe rolling up out of the Superdome. I mean, unbelievable. All right, we got a bunch of messages to get to. We got phone calls coming in. We're getting to everybody. No, we're getting to everybody, I promise. Everybody's going to get heard. High Rail joins us at 318-320-1130. What's up, High Rail?
Hey, Patrick, what's up, man? I love the show. I just wanted to make a comment.
All right.
Didn't LSU win a national championship last night?
From what I understand, yes, as far as I know.
Don't we have a little time to enjoy this before we start worrying about next year?
Well, I tried to tell Lucky Jack that at least give yourself, 24 hours to enjoy it. But he didn't seem all that interested in it. He was ready to talk about next year and if Joe Brady was leaving and all of that. But no, I gotta enjoy it for a week or two. I mean, Orgeron is already going to be out recruiting Thursday, Friday. But try to enjoy it.
That's kind of what I thought. Just enjoy it. We just went undefeated, or we, being LSU, just won a national championship, went undefeated. Man, let's roll with this thing, at least to the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the parade's not until Saturday, so at least get through the parade, and then you can work, and then you can start worrying about next year. But Orgeron's already worried about next year. He's hitting the recruiting trail, so it never slows down. Yeah,
he's the coach. We're the fans. Enjoy it.
Exactly. Thank you, High Rail.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. See you. Rogers is fired up. All right, we got a lot of messages to get to, both on Facebook and in the text line. The text line is 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Let's start on the text line as it fills up. This was from last night, Raj. 903 texted in and said, Clemson doesn't have the front seven studs. LSU can adjust and Burrow can settle down. That was after the 17-7 lead. Rogers, one of the things I mentioned, Clemson didn't have the front line to get pressure without blitzing, and you saw that
compared to a couple of years,
right?
The last few years, yes.
Yeah, Cleveland,
yes.
Farrell, and all of those guys, right? They didn't have those guys, and so what you saw last night was Clemson was forced to blitz in order to get pressure, and a couple times they got a guy free and got to Burrow. But most of the time when it got blocked up, it was a big play going the other way. 318 jumps in and says, no NASCAR. We're not going to talk about NASCAR. Captain Insano said ESPN has LSU third in the final FPI. Well, that just tells you how insane that particular metric is. I think they had Alabama ahead of LSU even after LSU had beaten them and they had 2 losses. I think they still had Bama ahead of them after the Auburn game when Bama lost to Auburn. So, yeah, I don't know that you can I don't know that that's a real good metric for figuring out, who these teams are and where they should be and all that stuff. I don't know that that's a – let's see. I'm gonna look up the FPI real quick, Raj. Let's see what the FPI looks like. See if he's right. Yep. Ohio State 1, Clemson 2, LSU 3, Bama 4. I mean, what's the point of having this? So here's the thing. The FPI is a measure of team. I'm reading this. Is a measure of team strength that is meant to be the best predictor of a team's performance going forward for the rest of the season. FPI represents how many points above or below an average team is. Projected results are based on 10,000 simulations of the rest of the season using FPI, results to date, and the remaining schedule. All right, there's no remaining schedule. So how LSU is not number one is a tremendous mystery. What it also tells us, Raj, is that Clemson would beat LSU by 1.5 points. And that Ohio State would beat LSU by 3.5 points. Even though LSU's 15-0 and won the national championship, that's the FPI. That's the dumbest. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Showtime said, after the Clemson score after half, did Clemson even cross the 50-yard line the rest of the game? I don't remember them. They had the one deep throw on the pass interference, the offensive pass interference, which I thought was a good call. The T started the contact, the receiver initiated the contact and grabbed, I think it was Kerry Vincent, grabbed his jersey and his shoulder pad and threw him to the ground, basically just slung him to the ground. And the funny thing is, the rules expert for ESPN, and look, it's fine if you want to, I understand, there's a debate there, right? It was close. And the rules expert goes, they ask him about it, and he says he didn't think it, he thought it was defensive pass interference, not offensive pass interference. And he literally said, and this is the part that got me, he and Herb Street are kind of going back and forth. It's Bill LeMonnier, the rules expert for ESPN. He and Herb Street are going back and forth about it. And the last thing he says is, Herb Street goes, see where T. Higgins grabbed him on the shoulder pad and grabbed the jersey and used that to throw him to the ground? Why isn't that offensive pass interference? And Bill LeMonnier, the rules expert, goes, well, I'm looking to see advantage gained. And there was no advantage gained. I'm like, he literally threw him on the ground so that he could turn around and catch the pass and go into the end zone. Like, what advantage didn't he gain there? So, I was a little mad about that. Big Papa said, Coach O was taking it easy on Northwestern State because he loves them. No, I don't think so. Actually, you know what they did? They tried some new defensive stuff, and they weren't really blitzing. They weren't playing man, which is what you expect out of an LSU team. It wasn't Stingley and Fulton locking down the receivers for LSU. It was a lot of zone. And so the Demons had some success early. And LSU pretty much scored every time they had the ball. But Northwestern State made enough plays and held the ball for a couple of long drives where LSU didn't put up, 40 at halftime. They then put up 47 in the second half, or 41 in the second half. And that's because they switched and they went back to man. They started blitzing and playing man, and Northwestern State's offense didn't have any answers for that, as you would expect. LSU should be able to man up against Northwestern State and beat them. They should actually be able to zone Northwestern State and beat them, but they didn't. T-Gage said, you can't get that kind of team productivity if you don't keep your egos in check. Yeah, that to me is the most remarkable aspect of this story. Aranda, distracted perhaps by the potential move to Vegas, and UNLV doesn't let it distract him. Steve Ensminger is a humble enough dude to let Joe Brady come in and do work and be a part of that staff. Ed Orgeron, smart enough to understand he needs good assistants around him, and so he starts bringing in good assistants. They up that, the quality control guys, the analysts, went from like 3 to 13 in the offseason. So he realized he needed more people around him. And that's what he did. And he was smart enough and humble enough to not say, I can do this all by myself. And he brought in good people. Jeff said, remarkable season, dominant. A team never had the ball in the fourth to win the game. Pretty amazing. I was confident Burrow would figure it out during the title game. Yeah, he and Brady even mentioned, they asked him about the start. He said, look, it wasn't about us making a ton of adjustments. We were in bad field position. And Clemson came out with a good game plan. He said once we kind of had them figured out, we knew what we were doing. So they adjusted a little bit, but they didn't have to, scrap the offense or anything like that. Cody said, Gator just wasted a minute and a half of my life. Hey, It's shorter than most Gator calls. High Rail said, all right, Patrick, who is Gator? I do not know. I thought I knew who it was. I thought it was one of our people up here pranking us, but every time we've tried to find him on the phone while he's on hold, he's not on the phone. So it's not one of our dudes up here as far as I know. But he sounds just like one of our dudes up here. Kachu said, is Gator one of the Danger Boys after happy hour? I don't know. Either the Danger Boys sound like that, Raj? Gator almost is too coherent, I think. The Danger Boys aren't super coherent. 903 said, not an LSU fan, but Burrow is a beast, as accurate as I've ever seen a college QB. His decision-making is quick and decisive. Once he makes his mind to run, he tucks and man is he fast. Crazy the growth he's shown in a year. Absolutely deserves the Heisman and the championship. Congrats to all LSU. Hook 'em horns. Can't argue with any of those statements. Got some Facebook comments that we need to get to. Mike chimes in and says, I called the national championship game so wrong. I thought it would be Clemson making the halftime adjustments. Very impressed with the defensive adjustments LSU made at halftime. Again, goes back to what I told you yesterday. The most overlooked unit on the field, besides Joe Burrow and his hat, the most overlooked unit on the field was the LSU defense. Everyone talking about Brent Venables and the Clemson defense. Everyone talking about Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson offense. Everyone talking about the Joe Burrow and the Tiger offense, LSU. No one talking about the LSU defense. And I thought that was the group that was I wasn't going to win the game, but was going to go a long way to winning the game, and they did. They forced Trevor Lawrence to be very uncomfortable. 13 overthrows, just never looked good in the pocket. They shut down the run game of Clemson. Clemson never got untracked running the ball. I thought the defense was the reason that LSU won that game. They gave up the 17 and then clamped them down. They gave up 8 points after, and the 17 was in the first quarter, maybe quarter and a half. And then the last 3.5 quarters, basically, or 2.5 quarters, they gave up 8 points. All right, that's doing some work. They shut down ETN. They only got hit by 1 or 2 gadget plays. The reverse to T. Higgins was a touchdown. But the gadget play that Clemson opened with, LSU blew it up. So very nice work. Matthew chimes in and says, Tom Rinaldi's piece on Carly was great. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that coming up in the next segment. Chad said, I didn't worry much early on. The field position early on was the main issue. I thought once we were able to start a drive outside of our own 7-yard line, we'd be okay. And we were. The defense did dominate the last month of the season, and we played neck. You didn't actually play neck. Everyone thought LSU played neck, but they didn't. You sung neck, but you played a different song. This is one of those things. This is one of those kind of hidden secrets that LSU's been holding on to. Right, the band's not allowed to play neck. Right, and the reason they're not allowed to play neck is because the chant that Tiger fans do. It's suck that Tiger Joe Burrow's hat expletive. And so that's what you get, and that's why they banned the band. You like that? Banned the band from playing neck. So the band has come up with a song that sounds very similar to neck. It's a song by Panic at the Disco. And they play that song. So if you go back and listen, you'll hear the band playing. It's not the that's the neck. That's the song they play when they do neck. It's not that song. It's something that sounds very similar to that. But it's also the cue for the LSU fans to sing, to chant their chant. Suck that, Tiger, bleep, bleep. So that's when they do their chant. And so the band doesn't actually play neck. The band plays some other song, and the fans just chant it. And the best part is, Raj, the people that were listening to the no announcer feed, the just Nat Sound feed that had nothing on it, it was just the game with Nat Sound, they got treated to the up-close and personal Nat Sound version of neck. But again, the band wasn't playing neck. The fans were chanting it while the band played a very similar song. Matthew said, what will the fallout be with the OBJ cash handouts? Yeah, if you didn't see Odell Beckham peeling off some bills and slapping them into the hand of it. I saw Justin Jefferson. I didn't see anyone else that he did it to. I just saw the video to Justin Jefferson. Here's the thing, Justin Jefferson's gone. Right? He's not a Tiger anymore. Once that game was over, his eligibility's over. So there's actually nothing wrong with Odell Beckham handing him cash at that point. Season's over. Now, here's the best part, Raj. LSU came out and said it was fake money. Does anybody really believe that, though? I didn't get a good look at you because he's doing it real fast. He's peeling off bills, and he puts it in his hand. He slaps him in, the $100 handshake, as they used to call it. And you can't really see what he's holding. Did he go get a bunch of Monopoly money before the game and wad it up into a big wad of bills and start peeling off $100 in Monopoly money to guys? Come on. We all know that was real money. All right, LSU came out and said, it's fake money. And I'm sure Beckham will probably have to come out at some point and say it was fake money. That was real money. The difference is he was handing it to guys who don't have eligibility left, as far as I could tell. All right, Justin Jefferson's gone. So I don't know who else he might have given it to. Also, they smoked cigars in the locker room, and one of the police officers came in and was like, hey, guys, you can't smoke in the locker room. I was like, what are you going to do, arrest Everett? Yeah, the moose out front should have told you. It was John Candy, basically. What exactly was he going to do? I don't know. I mean, yeah, what are you going to do, arrest Joe Burrow? Let's see. Brian says an LSU fan gave Queen that hat and asked Queen to give it to Joe. Next thing he sees is Joe having the hat all postgame. So, an LSU fan made that hat, the Big D Joe hat, gave it to Patrick Queen. Yeah, like the band Queen. Yeah, I think Freddie Mercury's dead. An LSU fan gave Patrick Queen that hat and asked Patrick Queen to give it to Joe Burrow. Next thing he sees is Joe having the hat all postgame. Yeah, he wore it backwards during the postgame presser, although I think he actually had the championship hat on for the presser, the one that had the fleur-de-lis on it, the black one with the fleur-de-lis. But then he definitely wore the Big D Joe hat leaving the stadium, and he also had it on in the now iconic photo of him smoking the cigar sitting on the couch. The Big D Joe hat's in his lap, getting ready to be worn. Chad said, great info on the band. Didn't know that. Yeah, they play the Fake Neck song now. Chad said they said it was fake money. Chad said it says it's fake on the interweb, so it has to be true, right? Again, my question is, if it's fake money, where did Odell Beckham go get a bunch of fake money at and put it in a wad in his pocket? Like, why was he just carrying a bunch of Monopoly money around? It was definitely not fake. It was definitely real money. Now, if someone wants to give me a good close-up shot of that video where I can actually see that it's fake money, then I might believe you. But, was he passing out Odell bucks? Beckham bucks? Like they have his picture on them? Official currency with Odell Beckham's picture? All right, let's get a break. Raj says we're late for a break. Speaking of Queen, they gave the hat to Freddie Mercury from beyond the grave. Big D Joe indeed. Swag off the charts for that guy. More about the championship game when we return. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Amberen trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonials based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO 52 weeks 7/14/19 by UPC MLDO.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton. For relief of hot flashes, night sweats, and low energy, I rely on Amberen. Amberen is clinically shown to help relieve 12 menopause symptoms by restoring hormonal balance without drugs and without estrogen. Give Amberen a try and see why it's America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Available at your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine stores.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
Hi, Saver. Walgreens here. We like the way you save. Take coffee. You know it doesn't have to cost $4 a cup, so you make your own. and copays on Medicare Part D. You save up to $5 and get 100 Balance Rewards points on each prescription when Walgreens is your preferred pharmacy. Save smartly on Med D. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Copay savings on Tier 1 generic drugs available through select plans that include Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Points cannot be earned in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Complete details at walgreens.com/balance.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
Are you struggling with addiction? Let CADA help you put 2020 in focus. CADA offers a spectrum of treatment options and after programs to keep you engaged in your own recovery. Don't you want to see your life in 2020? Thousands of people have learned the why behind their substance use and transformed their lives with help from CADA. You can too. 2020 can be your year, your decade. Call CADA at 222-8511, online at CADANWLA.org.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Amberen trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonials based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO 52 weeks 71419 by UPC MLVO.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton. For relief of hot flashes, night sweats, and low energy, I rely on Amberen. Amberen is clinically shown to help relieve 12 menopause symptoms by restoring hormonal balance without drugs and without estrogen. Give Amberen a try and see why it's America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Available at your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine stores.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
At Booking.com, our search filters make it easy to book the perfect place to stay to check off any New Year's resolution. Want to be more active this year? Book a resort with a fitness center at Booking.com. Check. Want to shorten your commute? Book a ski lodge right by the lifts at Booking.com. Check. Or do you want to worry less in 2020? Then book a vacation home with a relaxing hot tub. Check. At Booking.com, there's a booking for every resolution. Download the app and book now.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric. KWKH, Shreveport, Bossier City. 11:30 The Tiger, Shreveport and Bossier's #1 sports station.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Back on the Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. If you want a live local show talking about LSU, we're all you got. All right, so some questions we need to get answered. And I do want to break the game down itself, go through a couple of key sequences that I thought, that I saw. Back to the Odell Beckham fake money thing. Kachu said, I saw a video of Odell shaking hands with junior John Trey Kirkland. Well, A, he could declare for the draft. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be back. B, the only one I saw was Jefferson. I didn't see any of the rest of them, and I don't know what was in his hands. But you could very clearly see him peeling off allegedly fake money to slap with Justin Jefferson. That's all I saw. I didn't see any of the rest of them. So my apologies. Davey, my engineer at Northwestern State, Raj, Davey chimes in and says, we'll send the video to NCIS and let them decide if it's fake money. Wait, what does the Navy have to do with anything? NCIS is the Naval Investigative Services. Also, NSU is the first quarter national champion since we held the largest point lead over LSU at the end of the first quarter, 7-3. Yeah, Davey, we mentioned that earlier, that it's, definitely Northwestern State gets a lot of love for being up on LSU at 7-3. Uh-oh, what happened, Raj? We're not talking about that on the air? No. That's going to be an off-the-air discussion? Okay. Oh, okay. A little Monopoly money. Oh, there we go. I mean, yeah, if it was counterfeit money, there's probably some floating out there. Makes good sense. I mean, at least it would look close. All right, so here are some questions that need to be answered. Some questions that need to be answered for me. And I don't know that we can properly process this right now. But I think there's 4 questions about this season that we need answered, Raj. And you can help me out with this. I tell you what, you give me a yes or no first blush to all 4 of these questions, all right?
Okay.
1, was that the greatest single-season performance by a quarterback in college football history?
I'm going to say yes.
2, was it the greatest single-season performance by a team in college football history? Just 1 year.
That one's hard for me to say.
Well, here's the qualifications, right?
Okay.
7 top 10 wins. That's never happened before. They beat all 4 of the preseason top 4.
I did see that today.
Yeah. But, I mean, no one's ever beaten 7 top 10 teams. Now, granted, they're not top 10 when they finish, but they're top 10 when you play them. So...
And LSU made them not top 10.
Right, they helped. They certainly didn't.
You know what? If you're going with that criteria, then you'd have to say yes.
All right.
If they did something no other team has ever done in the history of this game.
They scored more points than anyone's ever scored in the AP era.
And it's kind of hard to say.
AP poll era. All right. Now, these are the questions that are tougher, because I agree. I think it was the best single season that a team has ever had. 15-0, blew out just about everyone you played, with the exception, I think, 3.
And that big win in Tuscaloosa is what did it for me.
Absolutely. Bama, Texas, Auburn were your 3 really non-blowouts. And then halftime of the Northwestern State game. Hey, man, I'm wearing my Northwestern shirt. I got to get it in. Also, when you were on the phone, Davey chimed in and said Northwestern State's the first quarter champion.
Yes, they are.
The first quarter national champ. The other 2 questions are tougher to answer. Is Joe Burrow the greatest college quarterback ever? Not just for this season. Keep in mind, he's played 2 years.
Man.
His first year was not as good. They were not obviously running the same offense, but it was not as good. He had one amazing season. Is that better than,
Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, Roger Staubach?
Well, but Newton really only had 1 year.
Yeah.
He wasn't good, but for 1 year. Staubach had multiple years.
And really, Burrow's only going to count him the 1 year. Last year was kind of a feel-through season.
Well, that's the thing. Do you take a guy who played 3 or 4 years and say his 3 or 4 year career is better than...
I was looking at it as a 1 year deal.
No. We've already established it's the best single season in a quarterback history. Now I'm pulling it back.
Is he
the best quarterback ever in college football?
Oh, man.
Now, again, you take into consideration it's his kind of 1 plus years versus some guys who played for 2, 3, 4 years, right?
Yeah. And may have had a red shirt as well.
Tebow went 4 years. He won a title as a freshman when he was moving back and forth in the league.
Career, I put him up there.
He's in the running.
Yes.
But I don't think he's the best. And
Peyton Manning at
Manning
Tennessee.
had a huge career.
Eli had a good one at Ole Miss.
Eli had a great career.
Yeah.
Tebow, Werfel.
Yeah.
All those Florida quarterbacks.
I mean, as much as the flop now as Johnny Manziel had a hell of a career at A&M.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
His redshirt freshman and redshirt sophomore years, he was good in both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's
one of those that's open for a lot of discussion.
Now, here's the real interesting question.
All right.
So we think he had the best single season for a quarterback in history.
Okay.
All right? I think that's a yes for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
We think LSU had arguably the best single season in college football history, right? 7 top 10s, the most points scored in the AP poll era, blew out all the teams, all of that. Had the Heisman, the Biletnikoff, the coach of the year, the assistant coach of the year, all that, right? Tons and tons of awards and data to back that up. But let's back it out a little bit. Is LSU the greatest football team of all time in college football? Now, you can only compare 1 year here because every team is different. Is LSU better than 95 Nebraska or 01 Miami?
That's the first team I was going to go to was the Tommy Frazier year.
95 Nebraska, 01 Miami.
Yeah.
Right? 01 Miami had 17 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
You look at the roster of 01 Miami, and it's filthy. right? So 95 Nebraska, 0-1 Miami. I'd even throw in the Charlie Ward Florida State team that won the title, because they were the first ones that ever really ran the quarterback. All right, they were back in a shotgun before everyone else was I formation. They were in the shotgun, and Ward was doing great things. The USC teams, right? Vince Young's Texas.
No.
Leinert's USC team.
Oh, I mean Cam's Auburn team
Cam's
for 1 year.
Auburn team, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have to compare this in a 1 year increment. And Tebow's either of Tebow's two championship teams. When it was Leak and Tebow, they were very good, but Tebow by himself was very good.
Yeah.
The difference is LSU did go undefeated. And not a lot of teams go undefeated to win the national championships. It's not like it's a super common thing. So, some of those Penn State teams from the 70s. What about the Nebraska teams from the 70s and the 80s when they were a dynasty? The Oklahoma squads from the 50s and 60s, right? It's impossible to compare eras. But at the same time, it is an absolute certainty that this is one of, if not the greatest team in college football history. That is an indisputable fact. They're up there with the 0-1 Miamis and the 95 Nebraskas and the 05 Texas. The Leinert the 0304 Leinert USC. I mean, they're in that discussion. That's rarefied air, folks. And to go from where you were last year all the way to 15-0 national champions, barely get threatened, 3 games that were close, really. It's a remarkable, remarkable piece of work. Phone calls at 318-320-1130, 318-320-1130. Text at 318-6570-HAM, 318-657-0426. Robert said, I don't know who called that hurry-up play after Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's hand touched out of bounds, but, man, that was an Aaron Rodgers move. Yeah, they have a signal on the sideline, and it's different for every team. I think the Demons signal is like eat, like you do the eat motion, eat, and that you always see Zeke always did that, right? Doesn't Ezekiel Elliott always do the feed me thing? So if you see them do that, it means they're going to hurry to the line of scrimmage. They're probably running the same play they just ran or a variation of it. But they've got that in the game plan somewhere where you put in a signal and that tells you run to the line of scrimmage as fast as you can, get the next play off immediately. Now, I don't know if someone saw that Edwards-Hilaire's hand may have touched out of bounds and said, let's go quick, or if they were already going quick. Either way, it was either great coaching or fortuitous happenstance for LSU to be able to make that happen in the fashion they made it happen. And it was about, 20 or 25 more yards after Edwards-Hilaire looked like he hit out of bounds? Johnny C., the most improved quarterback from one season to the next, hands down. Yeah, I don't think you can – if there was an improvement, a most improved guy from 1 year to the next, yeah, Burrow's winning that one. It's not even close. Captain Insano said, let's see. He's got a picture of one of the Simpsons characters going through the glass head first. He said, Skalski out here tackling like that. Yeah, we got to talk about that targeting penalty and why Kirk Herbstreit was so good on that particular call. Captain Insano said at least top 5, but Joe Burrow's career is just 2 years, and one of those he only had a month to learn everything about LSU. And then about the team, none of them had to play 15 games. Yeah, they're only the second team to go 15-0 in a college football season. You know who the first was, Raj? To go 15-0?
Not off the top of my head.
Little old Clemson last year.
Okay.
Little old Clemson went 15-0, Raj. You didn't know that. It's just because nobody knows who we are.
They beat that little old Alabama team from Tuscaloosa.
Little old Clemson. I can't believe it.
They just barely squeaked on by.
I can't believe it. We didn't even get to ride a bus to the stadium. We just had to go. We just had to bike. We don't even have buses. Just little old Clemson. I will say this. I want to give my props to Dabo Swinney, because I have bashed him a little bit on the air the last couple of months about how his shtick about little old Clemson and everything is getting kind of old and tired. But I want to give him credit. He stood up, and he really was sitting down. But he sat down and manned up and said all the right things at the post-game presser. He was happy for Orgeron because he's a good dude, and he's happy when good people succeed. LSU outplayed us. we tried our best. We came up with all the wrinkles we could think of. LSU was just too good. Burrow is unbelievable. The weapons they have are unbelievable. Congrats to LSU on winning the title. I mess with Dabo about Lilo Clemson, but at his core, Dabo is a really good dude, and I want everyone to understand that. He kind of has the aw shucks thing going on and the we're the underdogs thing going on, but in the end, Dabo Swinney is really at his heart a good man. So I'm happy for him that he stood up or again sat down and said what he said, and that he gave all the props to LSU, said we tried, whatever. Also, Sunshine's first loss. Trevor Lawrence, first loss of his career. First loss since he was a high school senior. And I love Fowler had the thing. He says, first loss since such and such got upset by Trinity Valley or something. I don't know what it was, I don't know what high school he went to or what high school they beat them. Yeah, we do need to talk about the targeting penalty from Skalski as well. And let's get into that right now. We're good. Here's the thing. Herbstreit was on top of this immediately. It's the same thing that happened in the Ohio State Clemson game, right? Everyone, and I even said this, Raj, you heard me on the air talking about this. If you lead with the crown of the helmet, it doesn't matter where you hit a guy. It's targeting. And the guy doesn't necessarily have to be defenseless. And it's targeting. And that's what happened to Skalski. He dropped his head. He's got that big neck roll on the back of his thing. You know what? The neck roll doesn't protect you when you're going straight from the top of your head. That stuff's just going right down your spine. That's just compressing your spine. And that's why that rule is in the game. Now, I do believe there should be two levels of targeting. Right? There's nothing at all malicious in the hit that Skalski gave. Right? He did drop the head. He led with the crown of the helmet, but he didn't hit him in the helmet. He kind of hit him in the chest. Still targeting, but I don't think that should be an ejection. I think that's a very harsh penalty for a guy lowering the head and trying to, as T gauge, he also launched. But again, you don't even need to launch. If you just hit with the crown of your helmet anywhere on an offensive player, it is automatic targeting. They don't always call it, but it's supposed to be. Doesn't matter if you hit him in the head or neck area. Doesn't matter if he's defenseless. If you lead with the crown of your helmet, they are going to call that, or they're supposed to call that. It's automatic targeting. Because they want you to have your head up. Because, Raj, we know that if you come in with your head down, that's how you get spinal cord injuries. That's how guys get paralyzed. But I do believe that there should be some kind of different level of penalty for that. I do not believe that you should have a guy who, he lowers his head and he hits you in the sternum or he hits you in the stomach or on the hip or something. That guy should not suffer the same penalty as a guy who comes in and launches at the head or neck area. Yeah, but they're not playing neck, Raj. They're playing a different song, but the fans are singing neck. T-Gage said it sure looked like his intent was to injure the receiver. No, I disagree at all. I disagree entirely. Skalski's his reputation is as a big hitter. If he was looking to injure him, he would have got him in the head. He was doing the right thing. He was hitting him in the chest. He was going low, which is the right move. The problem is he dropped his head. They always say, see what you hit, right? That was the old mantra you learned, see what you hit. When he dropped his head, that's targeting. It did not look to me at all like he was trying to injure anyone. I believe it was Jefferson who made that catch. It was a little slant to Jefferson. But I don't believe he was trying to injure Jefferson in any way. Chad said, let's see. We got to go back. Oh, man. Chad gave me a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. That's when he told us that was back when Jake Fromm was a high draft pick, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. He sent a tweet from Paul Feinbaum, Raj. It's 5:30 a.m. in New Orleans, and one thing seems clear. This LSU football team isn't one of the best in history. It is the best. Case closed. And then someone responded and said, I still have to give it to 95 Nebraska. 19 LSU had too many close games. That Nebraska team defeated 4 teams that finished in the top 10 by an average score of 49-18. Their closest win was by 14, and they were up 35-14 in that game late. Chad said it takes a lot for Feinbaum to say that. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's 0-1. It's 0-1 Miami. It's 95 Nebraska, and 19 LSU. I think those are the teams that are kind of in the running. And again, you can go back and probably run one of the Leinart USC teams there, the Vince Young Texas team, maybe. Maybe the Cam Newton Auburn team. But just from a purely dominance standpoint, it's tough to question LSU. Johnny C. said, big question, which Notre Dame team will Bonsai say is better than this LSU team? Probably one in the 40s. This year. John, this year's Notre Dame team better than LSU, John. 903 says, not only did LSU beat 4 top 10 teams, but never even trailed by double digits until yesterday. Best college team I've ever seen for sure. I'd trade the entire Cowboys roster for them right now as long as Joe Brady comes. I don't think you really want that. I mean, in the end, yeah, LSU would not beat the worst NFL team. The worst NFL, the Bengals. The Bengals would beat LSU by 20. Easy. Kachu says, if you're looking at the final AP standings, LSU beat 2 Clemson, 4 Georgia, 6 Florida, 7 OU, 8 Bama, 14 Auburn, 25 Texas. So 5 of the final top 10 and 7 of the top 25. Nothing wrong with that. Take a break. More of your thoughts on the national championship on the Patrick Netherton Show.
A rough-running engine could be suffering from buildup of fuel and oil deposits, but Seafoam motor treatment for $7.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Clean out built-up sludge and improve fuel economy with Seafoam motor treatment on sale for $7.99 each at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sometimes the sniffles turn out to be more than the sniffles. Luckily, there's a Walgreens right around the corner so you can feel better faster. And right now, get select Vicks, NyQuil, DayQuil, Sinex, and flu therapy products for only $9.99 each with card. No reason to waste more time feeling lousy this cold season. Get in and out in minutes so you feel better faster. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Use as directed. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Valid in store through January 18th.
When Allstate agents and employees go to work every day, their number one priority is protecting what matters most to you. For military veterans, that instinct to protect also comes naturally. No wonder thousands of veterans build good careers with Allstate. And now, Allstate is ranked the number one employer on the 2020 Military Friendly Employers list. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For career opportunities or to get a quote, contact Allstate today. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Next stop, Graham Street. And Brian in the khaki shorts. Your GNL energy bill went up 60% this month. Seems like you'd want to know. Stand clear of the closing doors.
So, meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong, like increases to a recurring bill, then sends an alert to your phone and helps you fix it. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? See CapitalOne.com for details. Limitations apply.
Hi, Saver. Walgreens here. We like the way you save. Take coffee. You know it doesn't have to cost $4 a cup, so you make your own. And copays on Medicare Part D. You save up to $5 and get 100 balanced rewards points on each prescription when Walgreens is your preferred pharmacy. Save smartly on Med D. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Copay savings on Tier 1 generic drugs available through select plans that include Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Points cannot be earned in Arkansas, New Jersey, or New York. Complete details at walgreens.com/balance.
Ah, the bull elk's bugle, one of nature's most wondrous sounds. That is not a bull elk, that's Kim. Her RV sewage tank is spewing all over her camper. Way, way out in the middle of elk country. Yep, there's an elk. And that's Kim. It's wild out there. When it gets too wild, Progressive has your RV covered. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The following statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Amberen trials tested mild to moderate symptoms. Testimonials based on 90 days of use. Results may vary. IRI US MULO 52 weeks 7/14/19 by UPC and LVO.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Retton. For relief of hot flashes, night sweats, and low energy, I rely on Amberen. Amberen is clinically shown to help relieve 12 menopause symptoms by restoring hormonal balance without drugs and without estrogen. Give Amberen a try and see why it's America's #1 menopause relief supplement.
Available at your Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and other fine stores.
At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage. Unlimited talk and text plus 5 gigabytes of high-speed data for $30 a month. Just $30 a month on a 5G-ready network and no contract. That's our best deal ever. Learn more at simplemobile.com. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Limited time offer ends 4/30/20. Standard high-speed data allotment on all redemptions thereafter. 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 1 month equals 30 days. Plus taxes and fees. See terms and conditions at simplemobile.com.
11:30 The Tiger, your home for LSU sports, powered by Jack Spring Electric, where Shreveport and Bossier come for LSU sports. 11:30 The Tiger.
A good time is in the air. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Patrick Netherton Show, 11:30 The Tiger. Chad sent me the link of Odell Beckham Jr. handed out fake money to the players. It sure doesn't look fake to me. It's bigger, so it's sort of zoomed in. If that's fake money, that's real impressively fake money. That's like counterfeit bills right there. No, it's real money. I don't think there's any doubt. Now I'm trying to see. I guess maybe there's one of him handing out. No, it's just the one with Justin Jefferson. Oh, fake money, it says. How's that fake money? I think they're saying it's not fake money. Yeah, it's definitely $100 bills, Raj. No doubt about it. Hundos all the way around. Chad, I hope you were saying you thought that was real money, because I'm 99.9% sure that was just real hundos being handed out. Text line is 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. 318 said, let's see, LSU beat the undefeated defending national champions in the playoff era. Greatest of all time. Only difference in past eras, no playoffs, just the bowl system. And back in the day, it was way more physical of a game. More hitting, more injuries. This team might have had more crucial, lengthy injuries this season in a high-contact era. I mean, that's the real problem with comparing teams to each other. I liked Chris on my Facebook page, Raj. I kind of put those questions forward. Is this the greatest LSU team of all time? And he said, let's get in our time machine and go find out. And then someone said, what happens when 19 LSU gets off at 24 Notre Dame? Like, what are the 24 Notre Dame guys going to think? The 1924 Notre Dame guys. I mean, other than what are these African American players doing here? Because I don't think they'd integrated at that point yet. But nevertheless, yeah, when 6'5", 320-pound defensive lineman gets off, who is bigger than every player by 100 pounds on the Notre Dame team and faster than all of them as well. Yeah, it's impossible to compare eras. It really is. You can try. I can try. It's basically impossible. Cody said, does Clyde come back next year? I don't think so. What more do you have to prove if you're Clyde Edwards-Helaire? You proved you can run. You proved you can catch. You are what a modern NFL offense is looking for. The modern NFL offenses that are running the spread stuff and running some of the RPO stuff, you're exactly what they want, right? You're a guy that can get out of the backfield and make a matchup nightmare like McCaffrey and Kamara. You're a guy that's shifty in the hole. You're exactly what the newer NFL offenses are looking for. So no, I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you don't have anything left to prove. He said with how rookie running back contracts are set up, I wouldn't blame him for leaving, but I think he could benefit draft-wise by coming back. I don't think so. What is he? I mean, what more could he do? He was, the third leading rusher in the SEC? Dude caught a ton of passes out of the backfield. I don't think there's anything that he could do to improve on what he did this year. I mean, how many times did they split him out wide last night? Like 20? Every time he turned around, it was empty backfield, and he was outside. And, Roger, remember when we talked about yesterday about how LSU runs more five-man protections than any other team? So Clemson, when LSU would go to that bunch formation where they'd put the receivers tight on the line of scrimmage to either side of the tackles, Clemson would blitz off of that look because it was more difficult for the offensive line to pick up who was coming. So LSU countered by going 4 and 5 wide. When they'd go 4 wide, they would have Edwards-Helaire in the backfield. When they'd go 5 wide, they would actually just take Edwards-Helaire and split him out and let him do work out there. So, yeah, it's Edwards-Helaire has nothing left to prove. They just don't. He just doesn't. Cody said he would get more work and touches next year, but with that comes more risk of injury. But I think he's proven his worth. I agree. Yeah, what does he need more touches for? The guy just won his. The guy just won the championship, man. What more do you need? By the way, trying to navigate the LSU website right now is interesting. There's a lot of graphics work that's going on the LSU website. So I'm trying to find, because Edwards-Helaire definitely did more than I think you think he did in terms of touches. He was second or third in the SEC in rushing attempts, I believe. I'm looking up the stats right now so that I can tell you exactly what we got. All right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 215 rushes. All right, nothing wrong with that. 1,414 yards rushing with 16 touchdowns. Edwards-Helaire was the 5th leading receiver for LSU, as he had 55 catches for 453. Yeah, I got it, Kachu. I appreciate it, man. I'm there. Trust me, if there's anyone that knows his way around an athletics website, it's this guy. Number of times I've had to go get game notes of some opponent and have to go find them. I know how to navigate a website. So, Rogers, he was your 3rd leading receiver in terms of catches. Dude ended up with 270 touches this year. What does he need to prove? Nothing. 270 touches, and you think he's going to get more next year? Craziness. No need for it. Go pro. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Raj, do you know who the 2nd leading rusher for LSU was this year? I bet you could
Probably
guess.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, yeah, absolutely. 368 yards, 5 touchdowns. But you really want to you read these stats, and they boggle the mind. 402 of 527 passing. Hey, 527 attempts is insane. There are whole careers by quarterbacks that they'll never attempt 527 passes back in the day. 5,671 yards, 60 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's dumb. It is dumb. It really is. Like, that's just insane. Craziness. Jeff said LSU did nothing different from the season, just took a quarter to find the page in the playbook to open the can of whoop-ass. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if they suspected that Clemson would come out in that 3-1-7 like Auburn did or not, but it took them a bit to adjust to it. And again, the field position was bad, so it limits your playbook a little bit. You don't run a lot of the longer developing throws when you're at your own 5-yard line. I mean, hell, the first play they were backed up. He scrambles out and he finds Thaddeus Moss, but they get the alignment downfield. So it could have been a 30-yard play to start the game, and instead they got backed up even farther. The only thing that went wrong for LSU last night was penalties. That was it. They had 11 penalties for over 100 yards. Multiple 15-yard penalties in that game. That's the only thing that went wrong for LSU. They were backed up a bit to start, got down 17-7. First time all year they've been down double digits. After they got down 17-7, they outscored them 35-8. 35-8 after getting down 17-7 after about a quarter and a half. Jeff said stats belong in the WAC, not the SEC. Actually, yeah, they belong in the Big 12 or the WAC or something. I don't know. It's pretty insane. Apparently we have a Yankees affiliate. The Staten Island Yankees are doing a mini trash can giveaway when the Astros affiliate's in town in September. Oh, that's good. That's creative. You like the creative minor league baseball guys, especially since minor league baseball may be leaving and maybe going away. So, I don't know. That's the real issue. Rogers, again, doing his own show. Johnny C. checking on you. Yeah, well, Rogers is here. Rogers did make it.
Yeah, from last night, I said, he goes, man, just get through that 20 minutes. I said, yeah, you ain't kidding. I said, I'm headed home.
Jeff said he heard a rumor that Brady was leaving for the Panthers.
Well, Rule wants him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rule wants him.
Absolutely.
But right now, he has agreed to a 3-year extension with either taking a head coaching job in college, of what I understand, or a coordinator in the NFL. But apparently he cannot take an OC job with another college team.
Buster chimes in on the actual Patrick text line, not the show text line. Says, on a smaller scale, I believe North Dakota State deserves to be recognized. You know, look, if you really want to argue who's the best team of all time, North Dakota State might just win the whole thing. What have they won? 7 of 8, 8 of 9, something like that, championships? Mount Union one time won like 10 in a row or something. I mean, you know, look, North Dakota State, man, Oregon's got them on their schedule next year. You really want to F with North Dakota State? Like, you really want to do that? Don't do it. You people are dumb. Don't do it. Don't mess with North Dakota State, man. Y'all stop playing them. You know what their record is against FBS programs, Raj, in their last 12? 9-3. They beat Iowa like 3 years ago. No one will play them. No FBS teams will play them. I don't blame them. They come in there and beat you and make you like it. I ain't scared. Those North Dakota State boys they're tough, man. You live in Fargo, North Dakota. You survive a winter in Fargo, North Dakota. You don't get thrown in the wood chipper. Yeah, you get through that. You're gonna be tough. You a tough man if you get out of Fargo without getting thrown in the wood chipper and just survive the winter. All right, more LSU talk. Raj, I don't know if you heard, but the Yankees affiliate, Staten Island Yankees, minor league affiliate, they're having mini trash can night when the Astros affiliate shows up. So get your laughs in, everyone. The 17 title isn't going anywhere. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb.
Well, good morning and happy 2020 from Chevyland. This is Bubba Winningham with 2 great deals on 4-door trucks. The 2020 Silverado Crew Cab Custom Edition with 20-inch wheels, $28,995. And the Double Cab Custom Edition with 20-inch wheels, 4-door truck, only $26,995. That's right, $28,995 for Crew Cab, $26,995 for Double Cab. Silverado 2020 models at Chevyland.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Wendy's has been showing everyone how to do fast food right for 50 years. And now they're showing them how 2 for $5s are done with Wendy's 2 for $5. It's the only one where you can get Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and that Wendy's spicy chicken you crave. Pick 2 for $5. Choose between the juicy Dave Single, the tasty spicy chicken sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Come in today and taste how a real 2 for $5 is done. Only at Wendy's.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
How do you explain the joy of getting a small McCafe for only $2 from McDonald's? Well, it's like... Yeah, like that. Get a $2 small McCafe iced caramel macchiato or caramel frappe from McDonald's. Joy included. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
At Westin Hotels and Resorts, our entire reason